through that, bring in one of the jurors who will be the one who votes. Texas Senator Ted Cruz joins us now live. Good to have you with us, Senator.
Shannon, always good to be with you.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the analysis. This coming from Lawrence Tribe, a well-known left-leaning law professor, says this: I've closely studied every impeachment trial in our history. No impeachment has ever been as ably prosecuted in the Senate. In no prior impeachment has a conviction been as overwhelmingly justified. Now the Senate is on trial to acquit itself. It must convict Donald J. Trump. He doesn't have a vote. You do. What do you make of it so far?
Well, listen, Larry Tribe is a very smart lawyer. He was my constitutional law professor some years ago. But, you know, particularly in recent years, he's just become a hard partisan. And actually his tweet there reflects the views of the Democratic House managers and the Democratic senators. The end result of this trial is obvious to every single person in the room. President Trump is going to be acquitted. In order for President Trump to be convicted, it takes 67 votes. There is no chance whatsoever there will be 67 votes to convict him. All 100 senators know that. The House managers know that. Everyone in the room knows that. And there shouldn't be the votes to convict him for one simple reason. The House managers, they have not proven their case. To prove their case, they have to demonstrate that President Trump committed a high crime or misdemeanor. That's the constitutional standard. And what they've attempted, what they've alleged in the articles of impeachment is incitement. In 2 days and 16 hours of presenting their case, they haven't come remotely close to demonstrating that President Trump's conduct violated the law, that it constituted incitement. They have spent 90% of their time showing really powerful images and movies of the January 6th terrorist attack on the Capitol. That was horrific. All 100 of us lived through that, and it was despicable. And every one of the violent criminals who engaged in that attack, including murdering a Capitol Hill police officer, every one of them should be fully prosecuted, should go to jail for a long, long time. They spent all their time saying it was really, really terrible. All of us agree it was a terror attack. Violence is never right. But what they haven't been able to prove is that President Trump's speech on that day was the cause, the legal cause for it, that such that it would constitute incitement. And any standard they put forth for incitement, by any measure, the rhetoric and angry language from the Democrats exceeds that of President Trump's, and that they haven't even attempted to explain away.
Yeah, and we may expect that we could see that from the president's defense team. I know that you reportedly talked with his defense team tonight, you and a couple of other senators who are Republicans and happen to be attorneys as well. Can you tell us anything about that conversation or how they're feeling going into tomorrow?
Well, sure. When the House managers closed their case, I grabbed a couple of other senators. I grabbed Lindsey Graham and Mike Lee, and I said, why don't we go sit down and talk with the president's lawyers? And we spent, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour in there talking with them. And I just wanted to sit down and say, okay, what are y'all looking to put forward, and to share our thoughts in terms of where things are. And certainly what I urged the Trump defense lawyers is focus on the point I just made, which is that the legal standard in all 16 hours of the House manager's presentation, they spent only about 15 minutes on the legal standard for incitement. And they created this brand new standard that's found in no criminal code, that's found in no case law, but they invented a new standard for incitement. And a point that I hope that President Trump's lawyers make tomorrow is if you look at the comments of Bernie Sanders, of Nancy Pelosi, of Chuck Schumer, of Maxine Waters, if you look at Kamala Harris, there is no coherent basis under the standard they put forward for concluding President Trump's comments were incitement and Kamala Harris's wasn't. While we were having Black Lives Matter and Antifa riots all over the country, while cities were burning, while police cars were being firebombed, while police officers were being murdered all across the country, Vice President Harris went on national television on Stephen Colbert and said these riots will continue and they should continue. She urged the violence to continue. And I'll tell you, Shannon, she did even more than that.
Okay.
She raised money to bail out the violent criminals who had been arrested for committing crimes of violence. Now, let me be clear.
That is true, but encouraging protests is different than encouraging violence. So I think we need to be careful in how we describe her words.
Except President Trump, if you look at his remarks on January 6th, he urged people to be peaceful and patriotic. He did not praise violence. He didn't encourage violence.
I noticed that wasn't in the videos. That wasn't in the videos that were shown.
They edited out the word peaceful. And my point is simple. Look, neither one of those were incitement. We have a First Amendment that allows robust, vigorous political debate from both sides, even when there is irresponsible or overheated rhetoric on either side. That's part of our political process. My point is very simple. The standard the Democrats have put forward, there's no coherent way for them to say, because we don't like Donald Trump, he's guilty, but all of our guys who have done it and done it repeatedly. Look, Donald Trump didn't bail out the violent criminals who committed the terrorist attack on January 6th. Kamala Harris did. And so if the Democrat standard were to prevail, the next time the Republicans get control of the House, you could anticipate Joe Biden being impeached, Kamala Harris being impeached. That is a terrible outcome. This is not meant to be politically weaponized